describing it, but about the most sophisticated persons or movies here, he is one of them. And ye bedding como and tentem so na afe ye kwa kofano aba ne na aba betwetwen komo. Enti se wunya share video na madaro ma se ne da ye ba mo share ma foforo nsa kan bi no. Mo modern na mo share ma wo nsa entumi nka. Enti me pa chaw ye wura no ha enti yanko ne nchen. Hello, Mr. Farouk.
Yes, sir.
Me pacho, me mawajo.
Pacho mi jonso.
I am very privileged. Many aje papa sen yenya wo ye fidie so na me hu se wo ye major esan ye okandifo ye obi wo ye bibia ma yen. Na sisi a me no ka say Freedom Fighters Group ayen chairman any Dr. Ren a wo UK. Me pacho ye nyina ne aka boma na ye pese no etwetwen komo kakra. Ni nyina nya bonefa o my Ghana ye nyina ye free mu no. Sene o man si kono no ho komo na kakra na ye pese no etwetwen. Na enra yenya ya papa baako ene ne ba be din komo eye Mr. Kofi Kranten ene ne din komo wɔkyerɛ n'adwene ɛwɔ ɔman no baabi a egyina sisi a na esan sɛ nyɛ me nko enti no mɛpɛ sɛ yɛn secretary nso ɛbɛba na wɔhu no yɛn nyinaa na yɛka bom na agya yɛn atwetwe nkɔmmɔ mmere tia wa bi na afei yakɔ nti sɛ ha de a memfa no mmra na yɛnkɔ ansa na maba wo sisi a okay no hello Ofa Bacha wote menka
meton kapa
me bacho ya papa Ohana then
good Ohene and I am managing piece manya akwanya ana me no pani Farouk WAHAAB one platform so na no me no member me ne bedi komo me besia de na mabisa na nsem na ye ne yetiefo ne yahwefo nyina a omo ahye mu ha nwumre nyina enyina ba bisia de because ya papa sabi my follow no for quite some time here on Kofi TV. I believe Kofi TV be inviting me no me follow. Na mahu se diplomatic consultant onim amanyo semu ni maya hodo mu amanyo semu abakosemu ti no. Me sha de free no ho bebre na ne no ma ho asamanya akwanya na me ne no ebedi djuma platform back so. Enti ne no yebesua de free nyina aja. Oti dadi ebe mo akwa ba na ada wasese waje brese oni ebedi djuma ena nyumre.
Yo, daddy, any where the young chehono, Sauti and Kayadia, Yasam Wakabas Concra, Senior Adophonoma Jagga, were more ebiti, meaning, sir, you are one. I mean, we are very sophisticated. You can't and conform we are say any ma. Our machine de kwechira oka ho na mepese ye tiefo a mo hwe na mo pe bibia sua firi ho na ye pe o my Ghana ye da ache hu nti no mema okwanya kakra bi be sema ba ko bi na nka wabodin no esoma me wo ho na nka wabodin de akere metiefo no kakra me hu se na ebesi abono na me no ka say ye chairman classify one of the seasoned experienced diplomatic and investment consultant. And yeah, no world politics and governance. I mean Africa. Just a baby what you honum. And to where they were Roma, me mausima ba kope. Na what da who di e actually ye TFO.
Okay, Ibrahim Farouk WAHAAB. Me a Ghana na me so yinya kwenya ku school kakao. Amona baby am one. I'm an international diplomatic consultant. A very certified one. A Juma diplomatic consultant, which a man ahodo so a friend said the foreign affairs and I said foreign issues, any diplomatic issues. Yeah, not a question. A mind to do now problems kakra. Na as a consultant, a Juma say do a mind to do an special Africa Ghana account. Say President Vinya Kwano Ba Ofa diplomats sabi only career diplomats, your friend political diplomat. They are you move the training how consultancy diplomacy is about. On my Serbia, I was Europe. Almost Prime Minister Ivica Dacic. On almost special envoy for Africa, who reserves. I advise them on African affairs because Serbia and a lot of the African countries in a problem. 2010, that time now His Excellency Atamils Nawaho, any other presidents on the continent, Omunina Eko ratify Kosovo, say a country, and Serbia and African countries are no more in Ghana can only a severe relationship. Into severe relations, you know. After Serbia and African countries, the Kosovo and Timor won't be so baba. And one of the reasons are any Africans are boom. Yetimaya Nigeria, Yetimaya Sudan, Yetimaya other countries. Into Midimo Kotini, I advise Omo acquire fast intimidate 2018 made the Serbia Prime Minister for the first time in the history of Serbia. At the neighbor Africa, then by Sierra Leone, Abra now almost swear in President Madabu. I face the country Gabon, Bibia Omni Israel, any Russia Bayan, a fine investment in I have to advise. Country Nigeria, now Omo Buhari Technical Committee, our Omni investments, company by Nigeria Bay investments in Omo background, any Omo pedigree, any Omo KYC, a KYC. That's know your customer. And a whole lot of information. I was the one as an independent rep, and I'm a war board and so. And I involved too much of a trip. Every 2 weeks, Biano, SM Kwabuja, into me brave, and I bijay. And ya nonko, sir, Oko Google platform now checking my background. Your friend has strategic solutions. One of the biggest consortium at Washington, D.C. You advise American government or Afghanistan in some. You advise or Turkey in some. And our countries so consult here for policy direction, diplomatic direction, investment direction. A lot of people now board you 24. Americans, they be your governors, they be your former retired senators, almost celebrated American politicians. They are Africans, too. Many John Dow from South Sudan as diplomats. Young one was our borders. Anyway, we care for humanity, WHC, who Google is one of the biggest NGO operating or UN platforms. Menami Omu African diplomatic advisor. I feel so Mesa a country Vanuatu, which is in the South Pacific. Omu envoy. I feel Omu advisor to the Prime Minister on African affairs and the African Caribbean Pacific. And West Papua, which is the country, the only black descent on the Africa, the whole world, independence. But Omson occupy the biggest island on earth. Omo Prime Minister, but in the Prime Minister we are working on, or UK, a friend Benewenda. In fact, I serve as the Deputy Foreign Minister of that country, recognized Deputy Foreign Minister of that country, and the Prime Minister of UK. So anything that has to do with them and Africa, it's me who coordinate with the Caribbean and also trying to push our European Union, trying to push our United Nations General. These are some of the things where some of the things are made. And there are many of them. Due to NDA, non-disclosure agreements in Intino, mean find that it. But the general thing is that I do investment and diplomatic consultancy. Me free Sierra Leone, Ghana 4 days ago. The whole entire Ministry of Transport of Sierra Leone, I'm packaging them. I'm bringing investments, especially to clear waterways, the whole Sierra Leone sea belt. You know, the longest sea belt of the entire West Africa. But that's also be so. Ship. So the country has mandated me to look for investors to clear it. Jimikodi is doing bare 1 week. Now, prior to that, the Home Minister in Ghana about a week ago, His Excellency the former President Kufo, exercise. Try to say replicate the VIP and the state transport. In Sierra Leone. I'm putting it up together until the whole of last week until Tuesday. And they also do consultancy for Sierra Leone at the highest level. I feel almost parliamentarians, made me broker a deal for Holland a government to give them a basket, which is called the money. I did train Sierra Leone parliamentarians, and see you may be a and extra services. And Nyamaka Kraya, the Ghana, so Minister of Interior in 2016. The same said, some most Ghanaian police, any army for Muhuminan, a true for crying chrome, you say AK Kakakanibium, a true chrome, your friend a Scorpion, a Czech Republic, any free. That transaction, I'm a broker, Ghana government, and there are a contingent of 24 Ghanaians, Ghanaian police, interior, so prison service, NADMO, any other security agencies. I don't call Czech Republic, Omtimini company, no, Ekotina Sekasaya, eventually, no, is your Mabesoya Sina, say, Omo Abregana, enough weapons, de share on mine. And Ebika Hovet, the best 1 minute, so you do 3 minutes into Yamfa, went to Yamakaka, yeah. But
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Daddy. Ebia na make senka we me kopɛ me ho asɛm sɛ me ba bɛbɔ wabodia mo a mɛda ka we nyina Daddy yɛde wachi akyɛpa na ɛnɛ de nyame anim me wura ho ama esu pokra yɛ yiri me bet sɛ me gyina te sɛ bɛma na me ne wo ni nkɔmmɔ yegusu a yɛ kasa nyina no sɛ wobɛhwɛ a adwoa sɛ wa akra de aba sɛ why can't he be hired to advise Ghana president na efi mre kakra ni wo ho me fa babia Farouk WAHAAB Mr. Farouk chase wudi na yebo babia na wo kasa eda wadi pefe ma yehu nipa wo yo woni ye ne wo bibia wo ye bia da di ma yehu nipa wo yo na nipa no tia na etiem se samre ya crisis anase oman no ya akoto amena donko mu no ye wo nipa bi te se Mr. Farouk a adenti a yenkofa na ma ema ne meso oman no mu nipa tia na omotiembet mede no beto wansa say ade bi aba beto dwa wo wiase anase all the Ghanaian community na ekoso ayate ne say face the country ebinom so say fix yourself ebi say face the country ebinom so say fix yourself enti wadaroma we de yenya wo ha de yepese ebusa say face the country and fix your attitude no ehemfa na wobegina sesia wo mera oman no yehu se ne esi kono na meba so aba bebusa se wankasa nso uhu se oman no gina he be answer na no fix your attitude face the country no mbacha wadaroma ugina he.
Okay, say you should say my address it na mesa address you reason is say you can't say fix the country na obim say fix your attitude mehu babia ebia efi oman bia no mfaso peso 2 pon you must be prepared for criticisms. America developed up to this stage based on ideals of allowing criticisms or critics. Europe na omunye allowed na most of the European governments in here Christian Democrats na do na semi communism no na omo man nipa kwan omo nchiro madwin enti emra omo we bie mu no democratic nations ana omo open up no every do na free communism no ama omo ina ba joining the economic democracy no omo hu say so many people kwan omo nchiro madwin ama oman no some bibi na ekọ wronga etimi ya den alternative. Let us not forget say the European policy advocates omo hihye ema ekuro no ekom faso mekuro ni gina sika sem no man no emu ba kokura no a oye politician. And for me I call myself also a policy advocate because mini party bia obitima ka say maba ni meeting ana makogina na platform now face the country now me feel say a harmless issue bia na ni kwan say bia quote unquote, Abano so worked out, said the youth of the country, the young men and women of the country now, Wankasa, Unim said we graduate about 300,000 students from HND to degree level a year. Now, what is that 300,000 euro could run national service in one? The next thing that you have to plan, so national service is only 9 months. Where are they going? The following year, so 300,000 become. It is not that kind of agitation. A grow. Bearing in mind, sir, is the private sector and my country be also, and yet the public sector. Because all over the world, whole country are the public sector and almost such a private sector. But the engine of growth of every country it depends on the private sector. Into the governments, they empower the private sector to grow. So the private sector need grower, strength. Then there is also benefits of end benefits. You know, yeah, obitima fa ejuma. So being an ejuma cost so ultimately for you nipa 2-3 no me ejuma obefe biaka ho. It is a youth no say fix the country. And then no much say ebia yenya niema yi yenya corruption yenya we now since yenhwe se nkra no ombenya adwuma ye. If that was the purpose, to me, no, then can be a problem. But where the problem came, and it said, the conveners and the organizers of the Face the Country, no, which I criticized and I made mention of some of these migrantee interviews, said, look, such an agenda. You the green revolution, you the yellow revolution of the Taiwan, you yellow revolution of the Philippines and Taiwan, Thailand. You the red orange revolution of China and other countries. Students na they organize here to bear pressure on the government. Name they say opposition party, NDC, activists, NDC, members of parliament, NDC, top men, rather no were infusing and talking about it. So my fear was that if the Face the Country agenda or slogan initiated, organized, and given birth by a group of young men, our say, all my life, they are not functioning normal as young men, our year school, or pay Jumaye, on San Kone Mammy and Papa Uncle Giscan Fenidi, on Kane Mammy or Ton Kuku, and San Giscan. Almost as a be a banning channel in normal show, no year, near harmless, no problem. But the involvement of the political talk, now I expected the Face the Country conveners and said, Omumra out and can't just say, politician be a new free. Because, a bare order of the day. And when a man government now dream bass is the standard here, they are police for, ya mamukwa mamunye, muni permit, ya kokota koji order. It was because there was an infusion and there was an involvement of political activists from the opposite side. And indeed, semikwa na mewa government nasa me opponents who can be as students, and I said innocent, neutral, your friends say unemployed Ghanaians and I said Ghanaian youth. This country, among the one of the African countries or the world, or what the youthful population bracket, which is 18 years up to 36. We are more than, you are more than 52 to 53%. So technically meaning every Ghanaian president put out there, from the First Republic up to the Third Republic, Fourth Republic, especially the Eighth Republic, the Fourth Republican, a youth to a president. It is a more youth then a movement and a Mumbai president. It is a more to Mumbai, then you should also be given a say. And what normally one would say politically, and he said, give me the government. You understand? I give you my vote. And when I give you my vote, give me back the government. So what it means is that, and the government does not retain on the chest of the political leaders. The government remains with the people who voted you to presidency. Meaning, you the president, who you one. Vice president, who you two. So banchi the whole hierarchy of the executives. Now share the whole 275 parliamentarians now. Put all of them together, they are not up to 1,000. They are not up to 800. They are not even up to 700. So it means, therefore, that 700 people, you are not the most cleverest and the most sensible and the most intelligent more than the 30 million Ghanaians now. Omutu Abamao. So what does it mean? It means that the intelligent ones and the smartest ones are within that folks, because the destiny of a country of 30 million cannot in any case be decided by only 700 people who will call themselves here honorable or we are the executive and we are most intelligent. But by virtue of the fact that Obian Timmy my president, Yentima the whole country, Obian MP, and you choose people to represent. And you're choosing some represent here. You are representing my interest. Obaka home, Onanaka, Unyaka home. But it's the opposite way in Ghana. And you know, and I'm saying, sir, build up, no. Politicians from the other side, Ekika and Semno, and Abano be a bit adamant, and obey stubborn, and or say, Sanity there, I didn't come in maso. But look at the H. The convenience in Ankasa mistake, which I've spoken about it, and I've commented about it, and I've corrected them. Say, look, Ghana will be a demonstration. And you back on Omutu. No Ghanaian politician is afraid of black because he quite ye. No Ghanaian politician or president is afraid of red because he quite ye. Omu be Saturday where he has in Tisabonsa and Yangwa. And if you want to do something different now must say fix the country now we are demonstration now. It would be very unwise. I'm sorry to use the word very unwise. Over replicate and also over repeat what cocoa sellers and I say a my market fishmongers be on the red ability. So how does one identify yours from the other? And also my coin say October Hano now mean to politicians no more room, no more conference, no more Kasa Honam catches at this time will not achieve the purpose of which you to need the satire. The agenda itself was not bad, but the delivery was poor. Because delivery said, now they needed people, neutral people. Make I say maybe some of us who almost speakers, who the message, who the punch, in my view. And to almost try my politicians here involved. By the time I cast now I admire the pressure on it, the enthusiasm on it. Nothing now died down. And to the very day, face the country slogan, it just only hit a snag. One, you don't necessarily say, oh yeah, demonstration. Now could deliver a letter at the Akoma president and prime minister and other government executive will be abeji means your message is gone. No, you don't necessarily need that. But your message must contain on the placards. Your message must be communicated with your actions, inactions, and how we are packaging the more. But ideally, face the country was really not a bad purpose, was really not a bad slogan, was really not a bad, your friend is saying, package. But the delivery and the killing. Now, aftermath, Yababa face the attitude. I don't buy it. The reason that I don't buy it is that the attitude was not engineered by me. And I mean engineer attitude. Excuse me, and I'm prime fear. Yes, you can call me a dirty man. So what you feel now, you can call him a dirty man. But when it comes to national issue, when it comes to governance, the Anyama Miansana president, the Anase leader be out the office. One, you're afraid BBC monitoring. Two, you're afraid BBC supervision. The third one is to control. And how do you monitor? How do you supervise? How do you manage? And how do you control? And to name three ingredients of governance, and yes, MPP, NDC, they were West. One, as a leader, a president, whilst you have to do three things, you monitor, supervise, and control. You need also to do three things. Country no resources, and you have to administer, manage, and govern. And you have 3:3. You monitor, supervise, and control. You manage, govern, and administer. What do you govern? You put the whole governance into one holistic, and make sure yourself. And make sure yourself. What for representatives, Papa? Where you minister, Papa? What for chief executive, Papa? That borders on governance. And when it comes to administering, then you also have to bring in your resources. That what resources are you having? more bauxite, more diamond, more timber, more clinker, more all this. And I have to put it into commercial use or I have to put it in commercial sale. Now, interestingly, you know, the country Ghana has the biggest, which is Zambia, Ecuador, Australia, Sudan, and about 5 countries of the world. The only countries are resources being Yamidi cancer body being Yadiban. You want in commercial volumes. Commercial volumes in say that volume no se koko a ese team share Ghana kopim se wiase bese. A team base team share Ghana kopim se wiase bese. Na Yamidi we nyina wie ma ono. Osama water bodies ensue and Osama a balanced rainforest. And if you look at it, there is water Australia there what it is. But even with the case of Australia, on no bushfire and the property obey the whole year, every year biano, a quarter and answer happy to mission, a shin in crew count. Ghana, you need that kind of blazing fire. You nebi. Say your rainforest and so and yet the west, apart from the city I am building here, no. Ghana and Sudan, you can't compare the insure to Ghana to Cameroon. Cameroon took 3 months from day 1 up to 3 months. They survived. Sierra Leone told 4 months, then that they survived. But the end, the insure 30 minutes is a big deal. But insure na country no war, any insure na talk, any the fertile land is also resources. Let us not make mistake about that. Because your land topography, no, Emma Bibia Obia Nifio Ghana Bia Udia de. So what is indeed your biggest problem? Obi the one single mineral resources. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, only BBR. Ensure this thing entire Kuwait auto. Ensure Qatar this year entire cry auto. We go into invest, you know, and fancy. They import everything, water. Dubai oil the same thing. So I've contended and I've always said, so if in the 1970s, all these Arab countries, the Gulf Peninsula, no me here for. As in 1970, now Ghana what kickstarts. But if you date back Ghana independence of 1957, now our population was 4 million. Our cash stock now is now we catch Canada, now we catch Australia, now we catch UK Lankasa. And a saying, and it happened this week. Emma countries are now younger than us. Onube seeking expertise from me. Ghana Shenida. I'm referring to Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Nigeria, Buhari, or share these countries in mom loan free, Shagari mom loan free wanji. How did they rise? It is because of good attitude. It's because they were prepared and allowed themselves to be criticized. Now, yeah, adopt 4-year mandate term. 1 year, 4 years, and 4 years. Obi Bekas is shot because you copied the American system. Fine. Is that what has brought or what brings about Ghana? Yahashipana. Answer in my view, no. Why? Because so our good governance system and our good administrative system and our good managerial system. 1 year is even okay. 2 years is okay. 3 years is okay. Because the agenda is that you tailor the country's governance and agenda to suit to a national program and a certain national agenda. But between you and I, a country where you're developing, you see your team do middle income. Necessary government to be back, president to be back, necessary party manifesto, and I would be rude country now. No country can ever survive. Your biggest problem, I'm alerting you and the listeners say, Ghana first and foremost, your biggest problem of this country is the party manifesto. What is party manifesto? MPP manifesto. A nipa bi netina no design based on their understanding and ideals. And to a party be a manifesto, the first, second, third sentence, is to empower the party, the grassroots, make the party popular. So the governance that you are coming in, if you have the chance, so about the ruling country now, it's not about the nation first, it's the party first. MPP does, the NDC does the same thing. In the NDC, also, or call launching a party manifesto, multi Europe. It be America, be to Canada, it be Ghana. How many at times, any who say United States government, Republicans say, or the manifesto, how they rule America? You can't do that. It's criminal offense. but rather Republicans will bring what is called their policy. Germans will bring what is called their policy. And what is the policy? The policy is that you think of the social welfare. Oba wonyem akra oko school. Oba wa ekwa befaso emkra edi show muska edi ma the German typical social system. Social welfare. You know how it is. Holland in social welfare. You know how it is. Austria, Switzerland. I know your policy. 2, the taxes. 3, the education. Students come the back loan any holidays, any professional be created. These are policies. Adia omu concentrated back on any security network say or money be good about or whatever. Over or man who ban. Until you bring that ingredients of governance, party manifesto. And that ingredients is a laid down principle and foundation said. Government be abebano. You can use west to enter, you can use right to enter. But when you enter on the highway, which is the highway in India, you have to use the same highway. Meaning that you cannot get a government of Angela Merkel comes to say, media German, me a CDU, Christian Democratic Union, and me perceive me di German kwa. No, you can only bring your agenda. Ultimate kofa United States President, no ababe jinaka se me yes, but ye the party manifesto no. President send the party nisi toilet ye minio no abe lunch. MP ekra ni hu to me so to me lunch market. Chair President ba because it is a certain it's mediocre government and answer mentality any the yesa. Mo amatina Europe and amamu Europe. Say me be a prime minister. Air course road. I be a road minister. No, could be. You cannot say on any platform as a politician said, Meba, Mayor Sema Besi Adome Bridge. You must be crazy to do that because the bridge is not yours. A state and region by region. It is a state authority and a shared for bridge. You can design a policy. Say, Bia, yen to budget and I say, yen located scanman and coffers. But to suggest, say, me buy ye, men and bay, we say, omu comparison now, omu MPP NDC. We say, men and buy am is your toy. The country is so soft and understanding, say, yet me benya bribi in 2005 thereabout. Names your crown talk. But the Ghanaians were so humble to understand when President Kufuor said, yen yanko bompire names you to an Adome Bridge. Ghanaians understood. Look at such citizens. Yen yanko bompire. Ye benya under His Excellency President Mills. Not dollar as a rise. It is so for Fonko Israel and Kobompaye, not dollar. Which country would do that except Ghana? Our citizens, say, the country needing Sika correspondence so for say, Omukobompaye. In any case, Zuanko Israel Kobompaye, country named Kenya, yet Yase Kobompaye, said dollar near arrest. Whereas we are talking about econometrics, management, economic management. But these things, Ghana for BB country be a TSA. So I've always mentioned and said, the easiest and the most cheapest and the most very calm people that you can ever manage or rule are Ghanaians. Because the private sector in Africa country will say, not any government. No Ghana government see Dama will be a. No Ghana government or ma ejuma. Because on no population, public sector no, just only 2 million, confirmed by the finance minister. And to which I said, country are rising 30 million rough estimation is more than that. Because Greater Accra region, Accra City, Accra, we are more than 7 to 8 million. Next, the whole country, 2 million per year. It means direct taxes in our country region is only 2 million. And will be a watchman or GBC or a public servant. Nisika or taxing or a civil servant, Nisika taxing, be a 40 Ghana because the salary of 450. Okoti 40. Obetim the heading. So the country is bedeviled with a kind of only borrowing. Now, as a country, parliamentarians, presidency, the executive, etimiko jina parliament, eka sabanshi shepa, etienye sika, ya de baba sikano nam kwanso, sikana bedu, the plans are in the pipeline. Country bang, ana papa bang, ana mami bang, on any matia. There be a loan, the show my fish will be my survive. You cannot survive. So interestingly, no, who rainforest, who balanced rainforest, who agric, who fertile land, and now a large pool of mineral resources. And then there's also Kobobusi. And this is when the export technically, and we are only import there. Your ledgers, it hasn't got the corresponding entry, debit and the credit entries. It doesn't balance. And unfortunately, no, a country in national agenda now only no, because we perform and operate what is called populist government. Populist government be a party activated, powered by the party. And the party in share say, share grassroots. Yeah, President Tikachema, chief of staff said, on-fan and share grassroots. Into the share grassroots. Do you expect MPP on-fan and share NDC grassroots? No. Do you expect NDC on-fan and share MPP grassroots? No. So until the country comes down to her knees, no accept to say, every country that has developed in this world, propel the economic agenda and giving life and make people function normal unless I was set what is called a national program, a national agenda. One of them is our education. The national agenda of Ghana education, in my view, is one of the worst in the world. In my view, we feel said, yes, you are the American man, to me, but look at it from the fact that you need one single school or what sporting activity, recreation center. Yes, school done is work. And crying maybe a omudiago, or more ball, or more basketball. Not general recreation beginning. I create course at the age of 9 in the books, 2 bags. And to share education sector, it seeks to take you and to say, oh, the I'm going to read and learn, write, read and learn how to write. But we know who read and how to write. Ghana education bar stop there. And then I'm saying bar stop there, and the education is preparing you. So when you about Juma, because you cannot create. The mind cannot function. The mind cannot create. Your science universities, your polytechnics, but tell me, so which of the educational forum, which of the education are your schools near one? People that have come out, not the private sector, with me, engineer BB, with me, creative BB, education, who know. Into a school now, the next thing our parents say, I say or copy Juma. The next thing so the application. The next thing say, what the network, or better much be implementation ultimately, because at the mind level doesn't reach there. A sanyama way, and I'm not creating the problem for the Ghana, but it appears that all the political divide, both the opposition and then also the government, when they are in opposition, they are very fabulous. And NDC, very active opposition. But China, MPP that we are blaming today, Momunko opposition, national activation. Some opposition are form quorum. Call parliament when they are in opposition. Omba government there be numbers and so. It is not MPP, but both of them. And it is the way the politicians take a country away. And it's a youth, no more same way business friends face the country. Now, because some are the same politicians, we're back for. Now we're back against the one my government when into the face the country. If you ask my view on where I stand to face the country there. The slogan itself was not bad, but the packaging and the delivery, and then the adaptation and the adaptation was bad to the sense that man to me, the message now, the message that we wanted to hear. And this let's say you to Kasa, never fix the nation, fix the country. Next Kobase, comparison Burma. A youth, you do not compare anything. Compare say wunya jumanya and they are the same. So you don't go and praise there or you don't go and praise there. Be in the middle and propagate your agenda. Let the government understand your grievances. Say a Juma nearby, nothing more than that. And to face the country, almost some guys have face the attitude. Attitude, is originated by the system. The attitude is originated by the system, empowered by nature. Because So to me, Shamra said, curfew, Mitima curfew said, Botua, a bansa koda, Namaka koda. It means that my attitude is also somehow controlled by you. My actions is also controlled by you. So if you want me to fix my attitude, lead the way and let me follow you. Lead and let me follow you. So Sawuno say, okay, Abansika Yedi. Which attitude are you also expecting me? Me call Juma measurement contem. Mami nye late. But what so now won contem na also ye penyin also discuss. And the attitude no mu dey near compare. Majority the majority. The attitude issue is neither here nor there. But we were Europe no. Obian can just so didia fa border never got to dustbin. Obian do what you is the system that has fixed your attitude, and not the other way around. And 2% the panel fixing attitude lead and let them follow you. They will fix. But fix the country or fix the nation, it has to do say yenye anyama ye, economy no yenye ni ye, ejuma yenye ni ye, education yenye. Ghana education is going down. Obia US school no. The only man say application for employment. When ya or a bankrupt or tifi, idea be any ho. Untimi nya 3 Ghanaian 4 5 students here in school. Ye can one my invention because or called technical university, or Kwame Nkrumah, or called technical university, or polytechnic blah blah blah. But they cannot create. And just tell our no mame or nenetino, ne mami import chewing gum, ne mami import chewing stick, ne mami import BBR. How on earth? So what school? What ye engineer? More engineering courses at the master's degree level, at the PhD level. Now so we call you road. So road I building. We need one single school in the country. We deny your consultancy partner now consortium say. Sikana Chinese consultant Babaji because internationally, world projects and as a bigger projects beyond 25% or 18 to 25% eco consultants. Abra one year only to tell you say that we are habachia road in say no I just scanning the call. But countries of the world, United States, Germany, the consulting that is they will call it the knowledge partner of the German government. Stuttgart University. Bibichine so our engineering, road, building, unconfirmed consultant from Switzerland, Tianica, or this guy called what? Stuttgart University, Mannheim University, Oko Hollander, Utrecht. One in the government, knowledge partner. It is our corporate project being or bridge. Let's say Bibia. She cannot be allocated to be a company consultant be from UK. There be a university on and conform actually a PhD, what be doctorate degree. Now, so to make sure be a dear man be a doctorate degree there. I then a country be polytechnic student, I your consultants. It doesn't sound. And it says can you allocate them a consultants and can you agree as a great college? A year civil engineering as a school of civil engineering. Never says you can come school no nyabi. Nan consultancy even classrooms. No ultima accommodating more. Oko le go one lecture for nipa 600. One lecture. How did they never change nipa 600 idea? It's not possible. Into find microphone crana or no. Wabre any fault. And never me brea a kuntia country. But politicians and politicals and political class, because Ghana post-independence, you are practicing elitism. One banyo, who go school, who say, and no especially the Fourth Republic in a government in and no appointment where you belong to, who gave birth to you, whose classmate is you. When the classmate only be the country, they don't. Obi bizarre say, I don't know, me call Makalanta. So if I went to a Makalanta and a Makalanta, because me prepare say, me continue reduce where did you be at? It's only this country that we gratify will be did you be at me an appointment. The experience is not there, the knowledge is not there, capacity is not there, capability is not there, and then only the technical support. And you know, say you choose party activists. Anyone says, even Kwan, say, person will attract investment to your country. You started from your diplomatic missions. The entire Ghana, the whole world, your diplomatic missions, 80 per. Indian base is more than 80. Ebimi ya plenty potential. Nipa Bakon, Brazilian ambassador, on 30 countries. What did they never have countries? Into ultimately attract investment. And on one moons to a party activist. Or knew anything about trade. Or need anything about diplomacy. And to a far no buy no. Or no, the Ohene said, state official be by visit a dear country we. And then a Juma sorry. Gigi, Ojina Airport, why any protocol, diplomatic protocols, Wakofano, or the Nekwaha, or Koyan shopping, who we are not have flight in Swaba. Name of my friend say, Ghana Nibi Yariwa say, only idea. Because any field. But Osha United States, United Kingdom, Republic of Germany, Republic of France, other countries, such party activism, so person woman diplomatic appointment, yamfani ambassador. You take them to the embassy and make them political advisor and culture. Into another no propagate say MPP philosophy, MPP ideology. Yamane mayor the leader, Yamane mayor the mission, head of mission, I say, or your ambassador, and I say, or your commissioner. Mayor the idea. Country require diplomacy is very high. UK, London, France, Paris, Amsterdam, New York, Washington. These are the places of late. Beijing and Becca home. Any Tokyo near that. What the ambassador call for be a what your career diplomat. And the Ghana 80 ambassadors around the world. Oma career diplomats 20. They are coming now political. And to no. On team for business, ma. No, se Ghana ni bi ho kire na wan tiase. Ono no se police ni bi chi obi no tietia no fa ahudie so a. On tiase. Ono no se due deport obi on tiase. The only man so ne se se wote ho ne internally generated income ne Ghana for amosuma mistake. O ma dwimu no wakwaje passport, ne bra ne beje visa. No nya kwa nyojo, no nyiska no. That is all. But Turkey, they were refugees more than any other country in Europe in the 90s. Chinese were refugees who called those days in East Germany, East Berlin. No more baby were for Garanzstrasse. Garanzstrasse, China Nibia Oceania, no refugee, as at 1994. The same Chinese today, Omnaba Munich, Hotel Bia, just within the 29 years, Ghana for still a more foot trepe, Momoye cleaning, our staircase. Sa Turkish for Namuno Budia Drum. Obia sa ye turn around as Ababeto company or Germany. Because said almost governments, Koreans were refugees in Europe for so many years, in UK, in America. But Koba said government in changing the Korean or changing the attitude from communism to capitalism from 1989 to 2000, 1990. Oba competing with Germany, competing with Japan and America. Who is the best technology? I know they develop. Your friend is saying, Hyundai. Oh, yeah, no. What other? They are getting enough money. Samsung Meniska, Meniska, and now they can fix policies. Now they can speak to the policy. Obanyima, how long? That's what Nefiam cry. Obinina, Uncle retirement say, well, Yaria, how many years? Ghana, there, Obu 70 years. Oko retirement, because there's no policy. That guy is that help you. With social security, now a public servant. With social security, no. Ube you of 5 years, you muskanaira. It is a who pension at the age of 65 for. You come back to not. And it's a then you become a burden of yourself because the country needs social system or the bebo. And you be mistake as a country. And but all had been possible because you use the party manifesto to rule a country, but we don't use the country state agenda to govern a nation. That is where we have the difference.
Papa, no monsieur, na meba osu sesia. In fact, me share entreya eba ohanoma medical Canada. asem krona na obi aka obi say ene na papa wote ho ye den bra beboa yen say o man no ko papa wo so emu this is the man, the wisdom is talking just say ensema ekoso no do so pa nti de no nsuo na me Ofa Yaw 1 minute be papa nsema okay what
Ohene o say Becho Brabi
papa nsema obobo so yi what memo ebusa no question be nya abotre na me musa me de ni nyina anwie why
mate papa de baby amekwa koto so kasa bia no me yi maso firi wiase ba bia na metie no it is a what study a me hia de at the same time be hwe no de o kan nyina mate na menim so wasem bisa bi ma me anase wo pese me timi bisa mas
daddy yan sheda ense umre bibre nti no ma me monitor freedom fighters medical culture me no ka say freedom fighters ahodo nyina bia tuma obia channel so o ma share me no ka say hade yenye kukese bibre ba yen chede so me no ka say ka kra e sha ase no nipa 1066 ene gina so o mo hwe yen sesi a na o mo share no so o ma share pa nti mesre say 1074 which means say yekoye nim kakra mesre say unya share video na se ubenya ni petitru bi sei ama wabiebie niam so akire yen enye enafom na we kura ya adun bi na so freedom fighters so na yen setumi aka na make say papa ise enye nani so ade hunu ene adwempa ne akomapa wo magana ma fom ma meduro obia level say on be kasa because the position no anoden pa but ni nyina mo no ye datwe di ampon ase papa mesre wo wadaro makakra mpese mebusa ne say we should argument be koso face the country and the freedom fighters in an you go ye bobo asem no say ye wo constitutional crisis wo Ghana nti eno na me pese me busa o ma so kakra wo pese wo ka fa ho no say ye no kresa say ye constitutional crisis koso teti wo Ghana na
say constitutional crisis them say so a bit subjective budget na omo abi ya boycott no and I say constitutional crisis the Ghana I would say your problem we don't have constitutional crisis to that extent but we have a problem with the constitution. There are two things. Constitutional crisis will be say maybe at the head of the governance maybe as you say no a vice president crime president vice and I say say you was speaker of parliament name your majority leader and no abeka a constitutional crisis. But your problem with the constitution is there again the architects of the 1992 constitution much of it was also was based on a certain party's slogan, was based on a certain party's manifesto. Because at that time, the whole country, you and I, yanya referendum, Oman contacting Ubia, any pebi netina them, no me legal luminary, no omususo bia, Oma pa abemu ni mabania makakrano. Omu netina sin omu ye constitution. But Zoba Kaya, NDC MPP, ya kro ya conform ya MPP crab boycott a certain election. Intuition constitution na a modification bia na ebino was picked from the military regime. Now military regime of only Jerry Rawlings. SMC1, Supreme Military Council, SMC2. And this animal omu peke nyamani bi. And de bakambu. And a beam susudi omu ideologists. Edi room. And in country ni started say ye benya even graduated from parliament no mere by 100 and something year corner. Ne said the country ni started quick. I said no. Constitution Dudrona was tabled and carried away from 1957 British colony Omao constitution. Or the constitution shows them. Na police womuntia barracks ne wom. And to our dream from 57 abapemne over 64 years. Winning Sestelano British ni edo kotna say fa policy form nim tuoton fa gu barracks na woman pie ama metu ma me pra wo mu and oka mu gu barracks what ba bedu 2021 still no say what pe won say si enipa police dan o pe barracks ama wo mu o pe barracks ama customs. How would they integrate within the community and be able to arrest risky situations? That was one of the big faults of 1992 Constitution. Obian changing. How was said in 1992 Constitution? The woman said, "Sir President Biba, none ministers, Omudisike wo wiase, eye boni wo wiase no. Ono president no, yem freno, ye will be diplomatic immunity. Why ye de ato indemnity daso. Into ono no, ye friend ko jina baby enye. Na mi bisa mo say, under my governance me, na me minister me appoint you. Me free power. Now we want free power because me ni ho a usu ni ho. Now utimi din someone me moment man chume ne mom ya de mom baya yem frame me busa. No, it's not possible because I've said and I mentioned said Ghana contract a lead to schedule nipa ba ku bia no betima di Ghana ska. It is not true. Sika bia di Ghana bia nipa be 80 200 any discount. And 20 men because a contract is so because signing ya. Your signing discount and you're known as a prepared ledger. And you're on a prepared contract. Your signing here and a finance. Finance for your mojuma. Omu no a sector, a be a friend is saying a particular chief executive be. Onu here and all the corner sector minister. A state corporation, and as a state institution, or the corner minister ministership or the command finance ministry or koji advice finance ministry at the attorney general office or koji advice attorney general office also the command your friends say council of state to refer the parliament subcommittee tenancy parliament tenancy you the command executive presidency about finance ministry about now you scan nitria ya bedu about accountant general also give us auditor general social BBI okay monthly check, blue check, yeah, they are called Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana, who to me said, the moye ni no, mean to achieve machine. Also, blue check can buy a one. No, is candidate no material. And you should process now, the compact reverse now, process now, akum, and some year PSS scan. A year then, now, chief executive officer back one, Ubetimako. You cannot. Because behind, you know, rally a defense Charlie. When I yama okese for when him making sure say BBI okay. Intigan will be a discount or be free. Because say Obia Noa Ubetima Cocheno. Because how can someone follow there? Obachi Attorney General for the approve as room. Obachi Finance Minister and approve our room. And the constitution and Makwai says under the watch, under his watch or her watch as a president. Certain mistakes be bad. Young Kochu minister and Kwan Fane my name so you should be invited to be able to say you almost sign the and obey supervision, monitoring and control. When I'm so indemnity and sour diplomatic immunity no be a basibiano or kwa your problem no. Why never baby his side the NFU constitution do not because benefit to be a why never Abakas executive powers in the dorsal yen GB. Why ne beba abaka say no abuse of the office and yet a too much yenji ahodini bi. Why ne beba no baka say road just never me baby obia nya na dwen so be ye free enti constitution no problem won the near constitutional crisis there is something different, something big, but your constitutional difficult challenges I see a yes sanitizing the
okay me da se pa na ayi wada roma se wo de beto aso a wo hwe papa akufo-addo na mamuo ni sesi a te se ne okeka ye na me wo video kitwa bi wo ha nti just 1 minute pempacho seconds
na to bebre a ya je ye hu de ade ya no e ba betwem nyina ma hyase e twetwemu baako pese me boa ankrankra de pese me boa ankrankra di mayafo na to bebre a ya je ye hu de ade ya no e ba betwem nyina ma hyase e twetwemu baako
okay Enti papa we de me pese wo hye ase free oluman enu ma se mi so say na oba be pa akonwa no o se oba eto a ye gye na edoso dodo because na minim say before Atames be fa akonwa no na wo ye obi a wo ye pa wo pani kaye yefui sa woton chewing gum woton de ben na esiuti so ana wo nsem a ye nye wo tax but ye ho ana be hu anse sa tax ni nyina ba say uduru circle ana kejeti ana ba bia ho ye big market square bia no say wo so fine you got say ade bia ye disi nsem yes chewing gum PK polythene bag ye see ye nye 1 cedi per head ye nye 1 cedi papa yesu so oba betwetwe mo beduru ye say wasan de foforo ba beto ayen so wadawroma kan bibi kakra fa ho na afei bo akufo-addo amamuo ni nyina se ne ohu no bo no tofa efa mayen.
Well, we can say when people are in opposition and I say yeah gonna have enya akufo-addo nko enya president Kufonko enya president Mama nko omu nyina o ma ba nyina now the otiso and ebeka because on here also omu nyina during the campaign okofa o manifesto no beto a ebeka de me no kan ho se manifesto no kire say opeso popularism and all manifesto ni mu otimika say tax kura mi nyibi otimika say farmers kura no mechi omu your friend is a bed sheet a month but because any national agenda into okan free and you omu power said obo bi no and correct but our oppositioner they preach socialism onya power na socialism rom dey see no ma preach communism communism ne say me pese enne me to taxing otomobi antimusa no hwe capitalism ne say monhwe say dey Australia ne America ne Germany etua taxes no wasro enti no nya bichichi kuro no. How do you compare yourself to this economy? Because we tax na they make sure so we create the private sector the engine of growth and many pa ye adwuma ye enti the tax regime no nipa na air tax coverage no does now dear sadly obi also niema the capital for the day ni nyina 20 cedis obi oton brodo 2 am nyina no oton brodo that's how so tax na. It is so sad because you don't create wealth and Ghana government successive governments in land they don't create wealth. Wealth creation leads to liberalization of the economy and it leads to progressive economy no so e bet my den the growth progressively no e be when create wealth we need wealth seeker and yema no kwa ya wo ankasa resources no you haven't been able to produce more and sell. Me, I don't believe so. Value added chain value. Nobody. Switzerland for on Transa Ghana, you coach chocolate rubber non-general cotton. No. Because the Kakra Konwako syndicate loan. Sikana did better cocoa. Cocoa and dry and empty and Kawako musica. Now change value chain. Value what chain? Ultimate Adibia. Or turn Robin, cheaper said or penal. And yes, I've Sika brand. And you cannot. Not that was standing, no, produce more and sell more if even is raw material. It's as simple as that. Say timber, and I didn't say ultimate find young kunya, and I the young kunya abrofon and tono. Produce more and sell more timber. Raw. You also make money. Say bro, and I only say be a media we produce more a share butter, and then say the creamer. Produce more share butter and sell. Raw and get your money. And to cut tax in this month. Because the government is not creating wealth, the government is not creating money. Into a yet desperate, no yet desperation setting in. Not others cannot cogin or brophone for be a major project. A cobasi can't get a banner the Bashan or the Basha executive or the Betia again chair of for Sunipa. And in a more adopted communism. It's a Ghana government or bad government. I'm not opposition or party or 3 forms of practicing in now. Obedu government more practicing in now. Or 2 tax more on consult or communism. Or not 2 tax in we are a capitalism scanner soon. Mon family and finance on fanye. Name mom set tab no ya beson. Amanasa pe re-election socialism. Momwa, they say abaye she say next year ye two abaye pepepe obi school no obi ko school be man bicycle baako. That is the socialism approach. And it's all Musame said. Make akufo-addo, Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency in Abanimum, and then the performance. Me, that comparison, I hardly would do. I'm pro Ghana. That comparison, my can say, all the successive governments, you know, so if they listen to themselves whilst they were in the opposition, and if they feel for Ghanaians, they will do things better. Yes, I would say, they can do better than what they're doing. But I will not say, performance is total zero. They can do better. And they have the capacity to do better. Just that they are playing politics, so they don't do it well.
Okay.
They are playing politics. They are not doing it well. And to me, if you say, Excellency and another government, so we'll just politics and we're pragmatic. So the country, you know, it has the potential to rise. The country has the potential to grow. The country has the potential to be richer than what it is. So Nipani feels Ghana can reach the higher heights. But because that is not important, but we concentrate on how many years I'll stay in power, that is where it makes it difficult for you. And therefore, I'll not compare. I'll say, performance is more or less the same.
Okay. Say, Daddy, say yakasa ye be jamu akasa wo hu. And yemfa da krun to be nti question meto am no abon 1 minute. So, how optimistic are you since I walk away 17 about the future of Ghana?
Future of Ghana could look bright if we have a certain attitude towards governance. If we change a certain attitude towards administration, if we change a certain attitude towards management, you manage the state resources quite well. That's a country what you that's we so major economic backbone Greek. Wa Greek sector no ade a ubusa no anu kuku. But there ultimate export. Because ultimate market for that. Who mangoes ultimate export. Who create market. Who a lot of things. How do you into the future of the country? No, it doesn't depend on me and you, but it depends them who are managing the country. Say, Monsha said, what would be the best form of practices? I bet my sanyama. Send a best sanyama. Ye making sure said, your raw materials no, ye bay ma akuafona produce no more. Mamin farming hunjim. Hunjim. Students farming hunjim because only incentives, only equity, only land, only BBR. But land didn't go home. And now your friends are banning this techie. And the tech engineering company or compete Germans. I can't be asked. But you and I know say Turkish for me, I know Germany. And I know me refugees. But only German for year Juma Musia and Yamano. And now Edwan, every woman I said, Turkey Nibia was Europe. Within this time, Holland, Mudia drew Switzerland in Yamano, more technology. Sikana na communist government of Turkey ni Jito Hono. Moma Jina Mofa Juma. Papa no. In the Turkey, Oba Baye a major player in the new world, you know. A abandoned any shadu, and it's a na bambia no sabi ya auction. Sikana no toward the dano, and what chairman ni chrome for a bit the cocoa foreign investments, a bit the compete contrast. Name Omo Mohono, Omo produce sophisticated weapons, Omo produce machinery, Omo produce equipment, Omo produce electronics. As I say, or compete. It's best in a country in here because of create wealth. And it's a Juma Coso and the FNP more and a company in town in Yama. Or Timinia taxes at the yard for Yadiano, Yan Tonshi, and Yen Diashi, and Yen Bibia, the Bayan said, Obiko Babusiano, the Quabusuka for tons per passer. Nay, me forces no, wash I know Babaji. But where the person get the money from to do the business, it is not the business of any Ghanaian government, said. Me catch a bank and say, so who credibility? Who shares a company na ho keka money loan? Na money time non fanya juma. Ki obebi be Ghana banks. Sebi. Ghana banks yen nkrase juma no mo ye. Sebi. Because say ono no ntimi mouse kasa fa koye juma. Na koye juma company kase a no maba. The magu kem ni mema gu kem. Ye be pa account. Where do I give the money? You didn't give me money to do my business. How do you come and take my money to go and keep in your bank? Now, Uncle charges on transaction. COT. If you are second and amount for the investment by giving capital injection and go for Juman, inject capital. Ghana Bank said they do yarn say, only the yarn say, for Sika better. Who quite deposit who could use Sika no more. Look at this. Who do Sika go to bank who could catch say, me to me in Rama in the China because I am the balance sheet to Baba for. It's rather unfortunate. Banks in your business bank. Because abandoning to me my woman long, the strength, any the strictness, say, Sikana Mujimi be na mudu go on. Mo make sure say mo de be ma loan. Na me ba beji loan. O se confirm dan me beji loan 600,000. O se confirm dan e worth more than $2 million per. Say more than worth $2 million, they might as well sell it and then do my business and keep the rest. Assembly in an a question of whether Akufo-Addo's government is doing well or is not doing well, no. I must say, all of them, no, they could do better. And they have the capacity to do better, but rather...
Okay, inti, on say, metie wasem na, future, no, say, be ya, ye be change way, ye be shisha way, ye be way say, inti no mede to also say, calling for, ye free for third party, and as a third force, no, which means that it's a good call, right?
Actually, it's long overdue. But in any case, it is not even a question of third party. One party state, and there's a Rwanda, only opposition. For Sierra Leone, Cameroon is not the best, but only opposition. The longer one serves in power does not make it a bad government. But what they use the power for makes it bad or good. So President Vita, there's a Morocco, a monarch. Saudi Arabia, a monarchy. Kuwait, a monarchy. Dubai, a monarchy. Emirates, a monarchy. Jordan, a monarchy. There are a lot of countries. Why not? Malaysia, look on you. Your friends in Singapore. They all ruled more than 27, 28 years. And I'm a boy. It does not necessarily make you a bad government. But how you use the power, and during the tenure, and then a man for say, no, so I actually there 4 years in Ukraine train court. Nemo me who country the presidency, the papa nani pampe. In any case, German say a democratic nation. Make it say when you're 20 over 20 something years.
Yeah.
Does that mean the German is democratic or democratic? But the Nippon the papa, they don't see, nobody cares. Ghana say who Juma papa. Nobody cares who becomes the president of Ghana. But because of the usage of the power and abuse of the power, and then our bar is watch a call. That is all. And we could do better if we change our way of doing things at the height of the governance.
Okay, Papa, say no, ye ba haka kra no. Wo hwe ne nkrofo twa 2024 wo intentions be say bia ube gina na say wo nyina so a we will take you by force to lead Ghana, period. And na Richie Diaba no pa say dey asem na worker na yenhwe na afi yenton kra no nko because ana say ebinom so de ba say ube gina ba be president amaye kofo katachi no onya o vice na one more machine say nura papa ya mene di komo Kofi Kranten wo nyina wo ho ade ntia mo nka madwe mo na mo nyina mo ma because this is what the majority of the youth time we na mabunu no su no Minia, ka opese okasa on. Okay, Brem.
Papa, yada sene wada ja wanyama ye etie bebre. Na me pese me bisa nsem kakra. Ghana ohwe amanyo sem, amanyo for any Ghana citizens no, Ghana for na. Yen na ya say amanyo for no. Ana amanyo for no na say wo man. Wo man mpuntu mu. Yen na ya say amanyo for no. Ana sa amanyo for no na say wo man man.
Oma ye true who say constituency no and the parliamentarian. And Tinipana, my phone, I'm a there. Now, any bad intentions say, I follow, and I have family say, Mukujan, but you to me, a club back one as a community in Baku, and Jinkuja Parliament. A J. Nipa Baku. Nemo Woma, you Mukon. Onya Kodua, Obe to Parliament 12 years on Casada. Obe to Parliament 16 years on Casada. What that? Yeah, your tin and ya no go to. And in Chino, and Kobasa Jane, a mamufono and ya say womb, and I am say, because I had the Yajimpa, and your cotumums a monconam good in a home. Now, much is Shamrapa, and maybe in so. And how does it become? Say, me, woman, I'm a sick corner for Shamramame. Catch him some in that true meda. Catch him some in Koyajumame. May sa 10 out 7 ambassador. There be rather no. Yet they Yakumapa the government in Showsem. But they failed to give us the government back. They held it on their chest. It's a young man before the same man. A minor woman would do anymore. Own same on. It's a very clear distinction. It's a clear issue. A clear issue. Parliamentarian Kokoshamra say you can't know that. You know, how deal with the implement. But I will corner the office once again, the party manifesto say, I near Baya, Obi Juma meant to us. Obi school when we are meant to us. The same way I want to also bounce on to us. Etigana Debiano, I with progress. Says Obi ya dear. And I'm say party one the manifesto body by any government agenda. Say government agenda, there's no way say MPP Bayer Bridge no area NDC ba was meant to us. Name of Misume was starting there because that bridge was captured in your manifesto. How do you expect the party to come and complete? And then the issue of Ebia NDC or say me school block me away. You captured them, some of them, in your manifesto. And it's a national agenda. And at the parliament, Nankasa, ye can was no, almost junior one. And Kobaka said no. Say, ye see hospital there 21. I got 2 years, I'm a government now. Now, what can government a 21 hospitals in Alabama? Eboma, ultimate. Enti kaya ba kumie no miensa so we 80 kra na we you free one. It is better than building 10 million in the bush. It is better than building 20 in the bush. Enti the consistency in say unya alone na be say adwuma na aka 2 years. In 2 years no enko touch 20 ni nyina. Enko touch 30 ni nyina. Ye miensa kra na we na nipa nyen so rather than so be yes. Enye the same thing MPP for so be. And people hear the same thing. Or your programs won't feel say be on Timmy and San and Tamaso. And this and Tamaso, no one yakwa and trasso, Nessa PPP na beba, or no so say, Miss party agenda, Miss Pessy who say, may buy them the airspace. May buy them who say, Miss Pessy, may they call orbit. And then will be Jan's agenda and their throne about you school that one. In the country, Nankasian at the party level. Any the manifesto now the rule of man. Young for constitution in national agenda. And then I said the whole thing. Back again, say the presidential ambitions say maybe show that does not mean say and can you I think say we have the capacity to do because we advise a lot of presidents and they sit and listen. We advise a lot of prime ministers. They sit and listen. They tap our knowledge. Some of them, they ask. Right now, on the 4th, in a week time, no 2-3 days, your nature politician, our Gambia, I have a friend, Mama Kandi, you can Google him. He's almost or nearly to become the next Gambian president. He's somebody that we sit him down and guide him and what to do. The new Zambian president, and then other places, you know. Ya dream Emma Omufa. And yes, nipa any no. But yes, system no, the way it no, and my movie and don't come say Odo Hukako because the vindictiveness, because the insults, because Se we wuti na so bia ekro no yen hwe ne nye ne yi. I say migrant interview several times. But some watch here. Obia ni ho there had never been a time on my interview, more than 100 interviews that you can get it on me. Yenya one politician, a man may diffuse be a maka. Yenya one presidential executive, a man may diffuse be a maka. Yenya journalist in the country, like I say, maybe one in Yagin. But at the level so be all Bacasa, or we are there press conference, Doka and then Yagin Sabi, a boom can. It has never happened to me. It's not because I know more than anybody. No. But you have to live like a citizen of a country that you want the country to prosper and be part of it and benefit. That is what some of us will stand for. It's not about any political party. It's not about any political divide. A lot of, some of them are confronting me. I check. But I never. Maybe I confront you with ministry. I never. Make a chance say, so I'm a government appointment. Don't send me complimentary card. Won't make a party activist because in our party platform. Name of some say Juma will say me. I'm like a German bulldog. Maybe a Juma na me. Maybe so I got your complimentary card. You way. And yeah, they are mayor because I will know I'm working for Ghana. And the Ghanaian system, the moment I because a certain party has to be popular. A certain party wants an agenda, said the grassroots. It is a way to mention the grassroots there at all costs. So I will not be involved with your system for you to come and then sack me and later it reflects because they will not tell you, say, who disagree with their stand. But they will say they have sacked you. When that kind of attachment. Sebi, edino, edu baby anaka kra. Udi bi didi na di bi hwa oma. Ne mo memfa me ho involve system bi a echina no obegu anim ase. Na wo wi a wa shut down. Mempe that. Ne mo say obi wo good plans. Obi wo good program. Obi wo good agenda. Ne se o say ye nyina ye force ye nyina ye nche ya dwen. Yamwa neso omususumesoma. I think say Ghana deserve better. I think say Ghana deserve better. The political class, if you say more than we cry kakra, you were early 50s, but yahu kakra, yes, you are the makakra. Say from 1957 post-independent, Ghana call outside dear so many dear super pimle. From 57, including Nkrumah time, dear so many dear super pimle. It's a political class. I a friend, elitism. Yeah, elitism, elitist system. And that system, you know, and I'm an difficult say. So you be because they don't care because Oman Kasana, Oma crack countries from 57 Bepimnen. Sabi in here, massive. Now the ones on back joining in the last 20, 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, 8 years, and the other. Omsusuno eye west. The youth no some ko ramuna anka say okuma ono. Ye west because youth no nyina student activists. Na they were propagating say Ghana and changing them but omu ramu. Ya mon share the in Ghanaian politics. Not the youth in Ghanaian government offices. Let's show attitude. They are worse than the old men. And you said that as a country. This country, sorry. You said that but Ghanaians are hypocrites. And Ghanaians will talk. But their issue, they are not prepared to attend it because a cabal, a group, an association. And it's in over the Georgia. They know man, so we know what we are talking about. We have operated on the corridor of power, so we know what it is. We want now for a minister, I can't mention that they know. A big program, a BT. They know my mind. Only they make a natural, make countries we enter you, and then I bear me. We die once and we live once. But we have to face the facts. Country and Ahucheno over and over, never. Now, make a be answer, make say, and you're one party. If MPP is not good, NDC was worse because they also had their chance 16 years. We also want a chance 16 years. Tell me what you've done in the 16 years ago, and then tell me what they have also done. All of us at the end of the day, Obia increase the stock of unemployment, and who has done better? Who has done better?
Daddy, maybe some second question. Are you there with Akwenya? Good. Daddy, who kasa platforms are who do be so? What you name dear Kutawi? I know, sir, politicians and the baby are now for one or more kasa. Timi no woman Timinia. Ana omu betimi aye na ye boapayo because omu tu kwan kwa amanya wo do very soon quickly how Paul Kagame edi Rwanda AC akwan mu omani tua enti eye boapayo se ye ana nim no muni
omni bibia pepepe dodo na so Oxford graduates ebia kokoko different schools na Paul Kagame is one of the most undemocratic presidents on the continent of Africa. In a 30 years rule, Paul Kagame now a uniform. For a soldier, not yet uniform as in a government trained soldier. He was a rebel. Paul Kagame was a rebel. Our Kaguta Museveni, our Uganda. And to Uganda, and not in Rome. That is a Joseph Kony, not in Rome, and Rome to Obote. No, when Habriana was murdered in the Cold War through the airplane crash, Hutu no truces, Ebenya genocide, Paul Kagame and his team, and no free Emiram, every Uganda, that time, no. Now, Museveni, they were settled because no more to Obote. And to Obaye, and no, or you to see. But o making sure, sir. The tribe and minority tribe are near Kumo, but we begin and on the experience when you're more or the best separate or separate you. Omugu Parliament. Omugu, you got a friend say, Rwandese Parliament and no more form of interim government. Interim government, Naya Bazunga, Bamuzuki, or no or a pastor or a sofo. On the president of Rwanda. And as a Paul Kagame na man to fan support there, Yamfanya vice. And to all call Assembly National, it is a parliament house now. Prime Minister no, and also President no, interim president no. Bamzuki no. Ono kwa na o preach also so no also start politics na den to kwan bae no. Also your politics. And the Paul Kagame etuobonachi and or the parliament ro. Omuka politics, as some own politics, no, the Satan would say no show. I don't agree. Omuka was I disagree. And one day, Anna, interim prime minister, president, also Paul Kagame, I'm tired, take your Rwanda. I don't see my soul. Say, and Toka Yakwa Kunkumi of Hunay. Says, our politics and argument and number there, Masum. And yet, walk out. From there, by Pimne. For Kagame new opposition. Koti party or homianshe. Obe show. So we are Bema and I will against the government. No afa we no money post. No their balance. So ba and a office say or yeah no money papa. No their balance. Check for Kagame agenda. Christian Technical University in California. Or the students 100 every year. Our students are more NASA, astronauts or more. Our Germany, universities more than 5 for really easy Rwandese. Our UK, students or Domko, or more Domko Japan. And she said, and said, for Kagame of every 4 years, no a great technical. Ono ani tie na hunu kromo boys na ye wankofa obi afra bontin enti ono no ye den wo ye proactive government and a president or national agenda into unfair politics ye ka democracy is actually democracy because on makwa opposition does that making a bad government compared to ye the NSA every 4 years ye be election but every 4 years we will be a discuss wo dwane every 4 years be a embezzlement. Every 4 years be a rape country. Paul Kagame koye sami enhwe. Go and do that. Yenhwe ye Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, or the democracy and the baby two, Laurent Gbagbo. So I got 2 terms. 2 mandats where we and then open got third one. And the allied forces. Solon Guillaume, Ouattara, and Ibe, Ibrahim Mo, Omo Regi Burkina rebels, Rumba, Numbi Baby 2 year French for support to you too. Alassane Ouattara got 2 terms. She say, 2 terms now will be quartered now, yeah, 1 man uncle. I was undemocratic. What team scheme around? Because Koulibaly, Bakayoko, Omana Combe replacing Yan within 6 months, will be a week. Change the constitution there, a quartered mandate. The Busamo said 10 years now, last hour, and then why? You'll be surprised. So Cote d'Ivoire bridge at that treasury and Cocody was see Makumako Pombo why yet 3 a year complete. Highways are web Cote d'Ivoire, Wake quite to Danane, Ujadina. And near my why you were Abidjan. And in Tikran, so funny said the democratic records on a lesser. Now do a Nyashe because they would do Grand Bassam from Abidjan to Grand Bassam. Why in 8 lanes? 16 and I can't namso and they call Abuaso. And 2 babies are said. So when we are Ukraina, what Kratia said, when we are better the ABB. But what I then I say, and it is not true, say, the longer you stay in power makes you undemocratic, but the usage and how you use the power. And in Ghana, yet in the good name of democracy, what we do is say, we prepare only our Ghana. Do 4 years in electioneering year, 3rd year. No, now government now starts say you afraid to be sensitization. I grow for Jesus. Now manage na park and so. Already, no more vampire. Obako the describe command national program imam maslachi fatia near dear fatia. Ghana bako penny war. Ye ni bika ho ajobre mamonko. Christians they use churches. Now a chroma. You to me are fasting now. You are fake. This is a fake country. Because you are fake. Anything wakoshe nyamiachi. Edi deceive unko for. Because do election there. Munyane boko motu abawiya munko fie. Ya bobo results na mo bin ti obi, mo bin kan obi. Ya Ghana for politicians. Omun se mom kan no ma keka during the electioneering year. Ebeka 3 months to election. Ghana for be so religious. Obi abompa ya Anglican for bompa obonwe yenyen din aban nyedede kabi mami kabi politicians ni na preach ba ko munye di yenya to abawie pe Argentina the same empire but they are no more yembo. Why don't they organize those churches? Why don't they the Christian fathers? Why don't the Muslim imams? Why the ulama? I don't know mun nyina nhia me empire. Na bibia to atwa do ahwehwa den saka na se wo MP na ono koje bosia anase obi sponsor no odi okobo bosia and odi be MP shipa. You can call it's not a calling. And this bosia no wie ne man ministerial post. It starts from birth. Why corrupt answer no betina. Mo amotitu on say sabi mo Europe. One kwa any mo MP or constituency. Mo Germany munche mi bi, mo Holland munche mi bi. America they are na governance no me dede kakra nto betenenka. Na Europe there one anim na MP kredi. But never akoso.
Yeah.
And there ne there ye prepare yen sanu si yen fankoye election. But yen prepare say benya hoto awo manimu until we have a problem and a long way to go. And we're looking for who will change it. Some of us there, ye per se ye neutral ni die pa kakra. Name say ebimo sorry some now say third force. Yeah, I think kakra best. But it's not a question of only a third force. It's a question of say Ghana youth muna musi president. And it's will be the president wa emo youth na no matwa mano. And the whole thing no yeah measurement youth na say 18 to 36 years. Muna mudoso. Me who obi o 90 years a o me 100 dom di lem ko to aba. Me who o my 80 years o ko to aba me no ma bread. They don't go and queue, they don't go. E jain for the to aba mo a. Eni say aban bi banas on one or more youth na. Blame yourself. It is the movie say mo sumo candidate. Mo fa ne mra.
Daddy,
it's as simple as that.
I'm going to come with third question. So, me start in politics. Sabi me tell politics but for few years in me started involving me into politics. Me politics kakra after manual semni how I econo. Ade ba kwa me hu ye ni say ase ehu any me mpeme ho asem ahye Ghana for ye muma. Some of us here about media nim kraba be nim I don't know sir. Okay. You will be here when you about criticizing and penning for the omu ye the akosono. Ye papa ne ma me no timi chi ye hye dem ka say hey wona wo kwa kan ma o man na ye bekum for ba betira na dwen wo o man na be say enye ya ebe ye nya wona abeka enti eno ma me hu say ekoso bebre na ma say the majority of the citizens no and our citizens no yaka ya no tum na ye strict on our politicians and ama omu ye de omu pe ana say ehu ana say America say ehu omu de tete yen any suru anyhow our religion so amaya ti ase say sabi enya de be ni na de be hye na ma ye nyi wo chena na be de ne ho me pesa me hu de na ma say citizens no aye timi danger politicians no say because yempo ya so de aye kasa for the country ye kakra bi majority na kasa corona muda ho be aso mesi obeka se information nko enti me pesa wo ma ye ti ase wo ma ye hu say ehu no how I bring ye up no and our religion no ye de tete ye mamu ni wo chena ho sabi emfa ewiase ne nko ba bia ubewu china heaven wo emu de hin na obeti mama ya ti ase de enta me ye politicians ne sa
okay na I mean fan say yeah country no and no money free mu no said you can ye di odi boni kura di nyame na kata so na yenti governance and Ghana the local politics no yenti ase level no is akeke yenti neman so Ghanaians into politics na yeti only the party activism yeti only the party grassroots and kwa yeti ase nti so be watch ya party na kwa ne members no tam na omunu benya akwan aba abemu no na oma members no kwa bia dey omu to oppositions out at as the party no power and some opposition because the movement a party nkwa beba power no master be selective or ma be inner circle you grouping go wouldn't this group na you are nowhere in short ni say religion ni there to the baby but Ghana the religion cover at the boni bia bia suban at the boni bia the religion e kata so now I'm of the view say and yes sir ebia ye na yenti enema na se but rather no system na ya create dey ato ho no so we ni a onti ase because obi obebe bia MPP okan bi NDC MPP wo so ho chi no no ka chi say hwe wo bottom ahotaba me amemedi mboto no minim say ska wo mo obi jira nchen say kato when you bet in this question it is like that make summarize the all kind and say the politicians of this country they disrespect the citizenry disrespect for the citizenry as no kind they summarize answer and say they don't respect us so they disrespect us
okay but just say na me special me bisa my last question because me say better na dey juma no my last question
yeah time ya so
ni ma ye social media iso aye kasa MPP ni NDC nya MPP nya NDC nya no kran pani form na mo ka say so we chato ma yi now omo tie yen edi echi ebi no wa ma no ebi wo fie ade ba ko omo de ha ya dwene anasa omo de bia omo ka kire yen ye petted force sabi your Ghana ye hu party ahodo anase nipa ahodo a wo mo asore person ko mu kowuram ebe MPP ni NDC ni sinchen me hu obi tisa papa kwasi indium me hu obi tisa papa kwasi indium obo ho mode ye de obeye bia ma wo se CPP e kwa me nkruma nkasa party a oja hoyi omo so aprea any Kofi Akpalumo all sorts of candidates omo nyina try and succeed. Now ye followers any atiefo ni Ghana for omo fed up with NDC and MPP. They say the message and I said the call up is a third force. The person who may tell us say a quite bear and I say and who be here say I was the third force so and I say was the third force in the bar. A quite bear was the first one ye me break the walls now. Afofre ba ye ntimi break no kwa bear ye be first one ye betimi break ya ye betimi aba be sanka ni manasa be tu we mo afiri ho no. The question.
Okay, so I watch here. Third force. My friend say, a problem kakra. Because I don't see the possibility. It's a party. A Asian party. MPP, watch it. NDC, watch it. MPP, were changing the names. Popular Front Party, UP, Nissan, Mabedu Seno, and Old Party. New Party, NDC, also abeche abewo system nimu for certain over 30 years. Also a system nimu. Na se wo pese uba na sebi o sa party wa ba abemu dan to onye ska to 10% o ma gibe aguo bebebe enu nom de ye campaign ena Ghana so no ahoche na eka nipa no ntu bi baji chamber port sebi kruwaba ekwa election obi ji kosua nu adi nu akwa election enti ahoche wo eni nti no omu a o si third force no na me hwe bibi say all of them obu ano deservingly no and confer na ho odin kra nko parliament ti asem ni ro omu ma apply for presidential candidates a presidential portfolio nanka they would perform better so constituency in this nkasa nkofon ko ye mienu miensa I was say no sa hang your friends parliament no edike opposition and independent and third force be for we say MPP ni say common fani easy NDC nya numbers MPP nya numbers and the pressure no ebe in the hand of the third force not necessarily say the third force now what can ebe rua government in my view the next 4 years ebe difficult because third force for ni nya sing your margin say yenye grand coalition there be ya hwe so mu tra bi na nsen we di nam ha we di afa ha we di nam ha no among themselves kra no omo and it's all yes na it makes it quite good for the ruling government and I say it makes it quite good for the your friends incumbent government and the third force there Ghana is long overdue. We are long overdue third and fourth force long overdue with the fifth force but the bottom line is that would all of them come together? No. This woman united to me together there. Then it is what it is. We are not prepared to change anything. Yeah, dear to me, they are no better. But it is as equal as useless as anything.